and gripped a 0.38mm pen tip, meticulously sketching Benjamin Franklin's portrait on a dollar bill. He planned to use his incredible replication skills to create counterfeit money. That's because the U.S. Federal Reserve had just released a new $100 bill, featuring a portrait of Franklin enlarged by 50% and embedded with cutting-edge microprinting technology. Even the highest resolution printers would produce more patterns when trying to replicate it, so the only way to fake it was to hand-draw every single detail with absolute precision. That's when Mike, a seasoned counterfeiter, turned to Tom, a master at replication. He asked Tom to handcraft a bill so perfect that even a bank scanner couldn't detect it was fake. Tom began by breaking the bill down into its individual components, then started copying each intricate detail by hand. When it came to every tangled strand of Franklin's hair and every line of text with its subtle variations in length and thickness, Tom didn't even dare to breathe. One wrong move could ruin everything and force him to start all over again. After an intense month of refinement, Tom successfully recreated every feature of the new $100 bill. Using tweezers, he carefully pieced the sections together, completing the base plate for the counterfeit bill. Next, a plate engraver etched the design to perfection, followed by chemical coloring, high-temperature baking, and water cooling. 17 failed attempts later, they finally produced a counterfeit plate with an error margin of just 0.0001mm. But one challenge still remained: replicating the watermark. The team was at a loss until Mike had a breakthrough. He explained that a watermark is created during papermaking, while the pulp is still wet, by rolling a patterned metal cylinder over it. Once the pulp dries, the pattern stays embedded in the middle layer, forming a watermark. So what if they made the watermark first, then sandwiched it between two layers of paper, and pressed all three together into one sheet? That would give the illusion of an authentic watermark. With that solved, they moved on to printing. But the special intaglio printing press and acid-free paper used for U.S. currency were strictly controlled by the Federal Reserve. So Mike started digging around, and eventually found a discarded intaglio press and leftover currency-grade paper at a scrapyard. Turns out the U.S. had used excess acid-free paper scraps to make phone books, and each phone book page was exactly 1/3 the thickness of a real dollar bill. So by fusing two pages with a watermark layer in the middle, they could match the exact thickness of a genuine bill. Mike used his connections to find the factory owner, and placed an order for 500 tons of acid-free paper. Now they were just missing one last ingredient: color-shifting ink. This type of ink was tightly regulated by the Federal Reserve, from production to delivery, so they had no choice but to steal it. They blocked the ink transport truck with a cargo van, set up a sniper rifle, and shot out the tires. Then they broke into the back and made off with the precious ink. With everything ready, the press ran around the clock, non-stop. $100 bills started pouring out by the thousands, but just as they were about to finalize a major counterfeit deal, Tom was drawn to the paint on a nearby car.